Good tidings will bring to you and your friend. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good tidings will bring to you and your friend. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas on CRTV. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas on CRTV.
Coming up tonight, a presidential decree defines conditions for public independence conciliators in the Northwest and Southwest. Right ahead, Ashu Nyanti argues that President Paul Biya has emphasized his commitment towards the special status regions. Christmas 2020 has come and gone with a tour of hospitals and detention facilities, indicating that most Cameroonians now feast responsibly. And Central Africans go to the polls tomorrow, committed to vote their president in spite of security challenges and threats from rebels. The details right now. Thanks for watching the 7:30 news on CRTV. I am Moki Edwin Kinzeka in Yaoundé.
Each of us must comply with the measures that have been taken.
President Paul Biya this week signed a decree laying down the conditions for discharge of the office of Public Independence Conciliator in the Northwest and Southwest regions. The decree emphasizes President Paul Biya's commitment to grant a distinctive identity to the special status regions. Our Chief Unity Palace correspondent Ashu Nyanti has the following analysis.
President Paul Biya has continued to add flesh and give content to the special status of the Northwest and Southwest regions. He has moved a step further with the decree laying down conditions for discharge of the duties of Public Independent Conciliator, a decree signed on the 24th of December 2020, exactly 1 year since the General Code of Regional and Local Authorities went into force, and which provides for the Office of Public Independent Conciliator in its Section 367. Apart from the Houses of Chiefs, the advent of the Public Independent Conciliator is one of the distinctive institutional features that make the special status regions different from the other 8 regions in Cameroon in terms of local governance. The uniqueness of the Public Independent Conciliator is in that the person is an ombudsman, a kind of a go-between or peacemaker who resolves disputes between the users or population in those regions and the regional or council administrations. He is also a watchdog, ensuring that persons serving in regional and council administrations fulfill their ethical obligations. The person to serve in this position is crucial to social harmony and cohesion in the special status regions. In that decree, Paul Biya has outlined the nature of the appointment of that official, the framework of action, status, rank within the regional protocol, conditions of incompatibility, how disputes are referred to him, and how he gets paid for the job he does. Since the regional assembly presidents have already been elected, with this presidential decree, it is safe to surmise that the appointment of a public independent conciliator in the 2 regions may be imminent.
How to construct quality infrastructure without aggravating public debt in the CEMAC zone is the objective of a two-day symposium that ended in Congo-Brazzaville recently. The meeting was moderated by a 10-strong development team led by the French former Minister of Economy and Finance, Michel Sapin. Details with Caroline Okeanoma.
It was during a walking dinner offered by the Permanent Secretary of the Economic and Financial Reform Program of CEMAC under the directive of the President of the Republic of Congo.
This working session has just one objective: how to transform the success of our roundtable in Paris in reality, how to finance concretely our project.
The presence of the high figures of international finance in Brazzaville is aimed at raising awareness amongst actors in the Central African region on the importance of public-private partnership and concession contracts for the construction of the infrastructural projects.
The African continent needs to be developed. It is a young continent with a strong youth and lots of resources that need to be exploited. Public and private investments are needed to finance long-lasting projects.
It should be reiterated that the symposium on public-private partnerships takes place after the successful Paris Roundtable fundraiser.
Religious leaders have been advising Christians to continue seeking the face of God and living holy lives even after Christmas. They were speaking to CRTV reporters after yesterday's festivities marking Christmas Day. Details with Alice Mbe.
Life does not end after Christmas, religious leaders say. They implore the faithful to continue praying and glorifying God the same way they did during Christmas.
Yesterday, we celebrated Christmas. And during the celebration, I drilled my Christian on the message of experience. The people who work in darkness have seen a great light, so Christmas is then the feast of the great light.
Reverend Father Antoine Owona says the best way to be free from sin is to remain holy.
The Christmas is the feast that the Son of God became a man. Every man have to become a son of God. We have now to live like the sons of God, like God in the ground.
This idea coincides with the St. Etienne's Day, which reminds Christians on the importance of purification and holiness.
Traffic and domestic accidents traditionally reported between Christmas and Boxing Day have drastically reduced this year. Victor Siga visited some health facilities and police stations in the nation's political capital and has the details.
One could affirm with reports from hospitals and health facilities in the capital city Yaoundé that its inhabitants have grown matured in the way they celebrate Christmas. December 25th seemed well spent with just few cases of hospitalizations.
We had approximately 13 cases. One case of death because of a pneumothorax, which is a bleeding inside the thorax.
With security beefed up days before the Feast of the Nativity, Yaoundé residents have witnessed less material losses. Security officials have commended the prudence of road users. Since yesterday, we've had a positive balance sheet. We've recorded 2 casualties, 5 cases of material losses in Yaoundé and a bike accident around Korfulu. So we are calling on the population to respect the highway code. Health personnel and security officials continue to call for more vigilance from the population of Yaoundé so that they can all safely cross over to 2021.
9 members of a gang suspected to be fabricating liquor of doubtful quality and branding them as imported quality hot drinks have been arrested in the nation's capital, Yaoundé. Their illegal factory has also been dismantled by gendarmes at the Carré neighborhood. We have details with Elvis Teke.
From a glance, these hot drinks look authentic. but they are a mixture of pharmaceutical alcohol, color, and flavor. They are bottled in bottles of various brands recovered from garbage cans. The commander of the Carrier Gendarmerie Post, Senior Warrant Officer Fabrice Celestin Mejo Eco, explained that the group behind this concoction was arrested following a complaint from a client who noticed that he had bought fake liquor in the neighborhood. Investigations led to the arrest of 2 suspects with about 20 bottles of fake hot drinks with different brand names. Further investigations took the gendarmes to the Leke Joa neighborhood, where 9 other suspects were arrested in the process of mixing and bottling the concoction. The gendarmerie recovered 70 bottles of the fake liquor, 7 liters of color, and hundreds corks and bottles.
These fake products are in the market, and a gang that is specialized in their production is now under custody, but it's not yet known which quantity is already circulating in our market. I'm Elvis Teke for Sierra TV here at the Gendarmerie Brigade of Carrier.
Disturbing indeed, Elvis Teke. The Paku Vita Fruit Market in Yaoundé has been officially inaugurated. It is made up of 24 stores that supply fresh fruits and vegetables to the capital city. The Yaoundé City Mayor Luc Messi, during the inauguration, said it was one of his dream projects. Bodin Sama reports.
He officially inaugurates the new Paku Vita Food Market, a new market that puts an end to some difficulties most food sellers here faced. After some rehabilitation work was carried out within the premises of the Paku Vita that saw these business ladies deployed here, they will henceforth sell in these 2 new buildings inaugurated this Saturday, made up of 28 different stores.
These sellers suspended their activities for several months because of rehabilitation works on the old site. They had to find another space to carry out their activities.
Business effectively started this Saturday for these women who see this as a welcome initiative.
We used to sell under the sun, but now we have got a comfortable place. He has shown us love. We didn't know when he passed he noticed us suffering under the sun.
A Christmas gift gesture, they say, will help business flourish around this area.
Northwest Governor Adolphe Lely-Lafrique says security has been stepped up for successful end-of-year feast. The governor, after a regional security meeting, distributed a special presidential relief package to internally displaced persons. Kilo Valerie Salah reports from Bamenda.
Going back to your various communities, you should be the agent of peace.
Governor Adolphe Lely-Lafrique addressing a crowd of beneficiaries of the presidential relief package, which reportedly targets 21,000 persons in the Northwest region. The offer is being described as relieving within a financially difficult end-of-year context.
I have about 8 children that I live with in the house, and this gift is really timely because I was thinking of how I'm going to help, but with this gift, in fact, we are so happy, we are so very much impressed.
The 7 senior divisional officers in the Northwest have been presented with a presidential gift comprised of bags of rice, mattresses, cooking oil and other items for subsequent distribution to internally displaced persons in their respective divisions.
The population of Memé Division in the Southwest region, through their MPs and traditional rulers, has appreciated President Paul Biya for efforts to develop the locality and to stop the separatist crisis. They handed the letter of congratulations to public authorities in the Memé Division, that is in the Southwest region. Tanjong Levis Agbo reports.
It was a moment of deep appreciation expressed by members of the leading Memé Division, first to traditional rulers and councillors, then to the head of state, through the senior divisional officer for Memé, Shambalen Tuondong.
The population came out spontaneously. When we are talking about decentralization, that is the heart, that is the future of this country.
Kumba has found favor. Those in the bush, in Mator, Ekiliwindi Road, all those environments in Memé Division. Please give peace a chance.
While reiterating the need for peace, stability and national integration, the pioneer president of the Southwest Regional Assembly reaffirmed his commitment towards development despite the challenges awaiting his office.
We'll try to see how we can do all in our power to improve on the road network of the entire Southwest region.
CPTM supporters for Meme re-echoed their determination towards facilitating the decentralization process, especially with the spatial status in the 2 English-speaking regions of the country.
1,200 youths in the North region will in 2021 be trained in information and communication technologies for an efficient integration into a fast-evolving world of technology. This is the essence of a partnership signed between the Garoua City Council and the African Institute of Computer Sciences, EIE. Vanessa Woodnang-Sanung reports from Garoua.
The Memorandum of Understanding signed between the African Institute of Computer Science, IAI, and the Garoua City Council aims at making 1,200 people in the 3 council areas of Garoua, especially women and youths, to meet up with the rapid changes in technology for greater openings.
The mayor of Garoua is worthy of admiration for that he do for young, for women and children.
The ceremony, chaired in Garoua by Governor Jean Abate Edi, was an occasion for the boss of the North region to encourage the youths to profit from this government's offer. The award of testimonials to some 200 youths trained between 2017 and 2019.
I learned computer, Excel, one-to-one. I'm very happy. It is going to help me in the future.
The first phase of the 1-month training program will, according to officials, begin in January 2021 with 200 persons.
In the neighboring Far North region, the winner of the 2020 Goncourt de Lycéen Prize, Jali Amadou Amal, has been received in her hometown, Maroua. The award-winning writer presented her prize and letter of congratulations from President Paul Biya to the population of the Far North region. Henry Tato Ekambi has the rest of that story.
The populace of Maroua almost brought down the roof of the Maroua Salak Airport with their joyful shouts and trumpeting as soon as their heroine Jailu Amadou Amal arrived. Jailu has done her hometown Maroua proud by winning the Goncourt de Lycéen Prize for 2020, brandished her recognition through a parade in Maroua before arriving her mother's house.
I am very delighted to receive this hilarious welcome from my people. I use this prize to encourage women here to pursue their studies and become independent.
The daughter of the soil was also given a warm welcome by the mayor of the Maroua City Council.
Madame Jaili put Maroua on the top level in the literature in the world.
Decorated in France because of her book Les Impatients, Jaili Amadou Amal, who showcased 2 other awards to the people of Maroua in 2019, is now up for more awards as she has been shortlisted for several international prizes.
The wearing of face masks in public places will be mandatory until further notice.
In continuation of our series on the state of COVID-19 in the 10 regions of the country, let's move to the littoral region, but that will be in a report, or reports from that part of the country indicate that cases of infections were diagnosed in secondary schools. What is the health situation of the students who are diagnosed positive? Bodin Sama has as guest Dr. Albert Maka Mambo, Littoral Regional Delegate of Public Health. Bodin Sama, what is responsible for the increasing cases and what is the doctor talking about?
Greetings and welcome to the Public Health Emergency Operations Center. Tonight we shall be taking you to the Littoral region of Cameroon, where we will be having as guest the Littoral Regional Delegate of Public Health, Dr. Albert Maka Mambo, to give us the latest updates with regards to the situation concerning some secondary school students who were recently tested positive for COVID-19. Dr. Albert Maka Mambo, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Tell us, Mr. Regional Delegate for Public Health in the Littoral Region, what's the latest updates as concerns the health of some of these secondary school students who were tested positive for COVID-19 in your region?
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk about these children. As far as their state is concerned, I think all of them are okay. They are okay till today. The system here has put in place a way to control their health from their houses, but also to continue the surveillance in the schools. So I think everything's okay for them till today.
And how is the health delegation of public health in the Littoral trying as much as possible to contain the spread of the virus in the Littoral region during this festive period?
We try to reinforce the on-call days, especially the point of entry. Those are the airports and also the seaports. We try to reinforce also the on-call days with the offices, the enterprises, so to make sure the surveillance is well done and reinforced.
Thank you so much, Dr. Albert Makamambo. You're the Regional Delegate of Public Health in the Littoral Region of Cameroon. Thanks for being available as a guest this evening, and we wish you a prosperous New Year 2021. Those are the latest updates from the nation's economic capital, Douala. As tomorrow, Sunday, we take you to the West Region of Cameroon. Back to you.
Thanks very much, Borden Sama. It's good to know that the students are doing well. A PhD candidate in psychology has defended a thesis on the theme Humanitarian Interventions and Social Climates in Refugee Camps in Cameroon, case study of the Central African Refugee Camp in Gado-Bajere. Nemi Basil earned an excellent score after impressing the jury. Miret Mpongwe reports from CRTV Center.
The proliferation of conflict has pushed a lot of people to become refugees, and their living condition and well-being in camps motivated the PhD candidate to research and bring these issues to the limelight.
Many things have motivated me, as diseases, the entire life in refugee campus.
While defending his study that focused on the Gado-Bajere refugee camp in the East region of Cameroon, the PhD holder went through 3 hours of thorough examination by the members of the jury.
The candidate wanted to describe the link between the organization that intervened in the refugee camps, and I think he arrived to find something very interesting.
The candidate's supervisors, Professor Raymond Mbende and Professor Chandel Ebele, noted with satisfaction the work done by candidates because of its relevance and his show of mastery of the topic.
Out of Cameroon, 1,835,000 Central Africans will be at the polls tomorrow Sunday to vote their president and 140 parliamentarians. This morning, the Constitutional Court rejected petitions for elections to be postponed. 30 Rwandan soldiers have reinforced security that is being threatened before the elections. Our special envoy is Caroline Okeanoma.
It is now final. Come December 27, 2020, over 1.8 million Central African registered voters will go to the polls to vote their president and 140 members of the National Assembly for the next 5 years. But how prepared is the country for these elections?
Everything had to be bought outside Central African and brought here. So now we're at the last stage, and the last stage is distributing the voter registration cards.
People are here to collect their voting cards in their numbers. This shows at what point the population is ready to go out and vote.
So women have organized and mobilized themselves to make their voice heard, that they do not want to witness another crisis during the electoral period.
I visited several centers myself. There were hundreds of people. Everyone wants their card. It's a wonderful card. It's digitalized, so there's a photo. It's almost like a piece of identification.
Despite the sporadic attacks by some armed groups, MINUSCA, under the United Nations Peacekeeping Force, is jointly ensuring the security of the entire nation, as well as the 3,546 voting distribution sites in the country.
And the leaders of the Economic Community of Central African States have called for the strict respect of the electoral calendar in the Central African Republic. This was during an extraordinary summit held today virtually under the chairmanship of Congolese President Denis Sassou Nguesso. President Paul Biya was represented by External Relations Minister Lejeune Belambela. Charles Ebune reports.
11 a.m. today, leaders from the 180 million peopled economic community of Central African states meet. In the course of their meeting, held virtually and moderated by Denis Sassou Nguesso, news comes from Bangui, the capital of the Central African Republic, that the country's Constitutional Council has upheld elections for this December 27. President Paul Biya welcomes the holding of this summit. The common position adopted by the leaders is backed by Cameroon. Cameroon firmly condemns any form of the destabilization of the Central African Republic. ECA's leaders agree elections are the best way to ensure the territorial integrity of the Central African Republic and to ensure there is peace for sustainable development in the country.
On to a series ahead of the 2021 African Nations Championship. A new rule imposed by the Confederation of African Football warrants that all members of delegation to the games must be lodged in hotel rooms. The new dispensation is to stop any COVID-19 propagation risk. Roman Kenye went finding out if Cameroon has the capacity to host all of the participating teams and members of their delegations. His report.
Hygiene and sanitation will be a priority in different hotels to host the different delegations during the competition. New CAF modality states that each player will be entitled to a room so as to minimize any risks of COVID-19 contamination.
We are trying to do our best to be sure that players, every members of official of CAF will be lodged in the better condition.
While the cities of Yaoundé and Douala spontaneously adapted to latest innovations, in Limbe and Buea, the standard of certain hotels were upgraded lately to meet CAF's norms.
Limbe and Buea, where there were 2 hotels, the number was increased. So there were some hotels that the capacity cannot allow to receive, with this new dispensation, 2 teams. So we are obliged to look for another hotel.
At the level of feeding, there is no need to worry, as the feeding committee reassures.
It's the hotels who are chosen that are responsible also of feeding this delegation.
Meantime, the engagement contracts binding COCAN and other stakeholders involved in this sector are currently being terminated for a proper organization.
And that's where we end the 7:30 news on CRTV today. The next news is coming up in 30 minutes in the French language with Atta Badino Ma. I am Moki Edwin Kinzaka in Yaoundé. Thank you for watching.
In this connection, we should avoid stigmatizing.
Good tidings will bring to you and your friend. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good tidings will bring to you and your friend. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas on CRTV. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas.